Good morning.
Good evening.
It's,
Um,
it's actually
what do we got
much
going on
later.
today?
Well, currently it's my weekend, and I guess technically your weekend has started. But yeah,
No, no, it hasn't. It's Friday.
yeah, but doesn't I feel like weekend starts after 5 p.m. on the workday, you know?
Sure. Anyway, I'm
Anyways,
James.
I'm Teresa, and this is episode 2
This
of
is tale of two cousins.
Backstory: A Tale of Two Cousins.
Yeah, yeah. Backstory tale of two cousins. It still works.
Backstory: A
Anyway,
Tale of Two Cousins.
episode two.
More backstory on you today. You won the rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. So episode two is going to be about Lexington, South Carolina, where I moved. So in 2020, I moved to Lexington during COVID in my freshman year of high school, and I've been here ever since. I it's going from New York to the South was a big change, I would say. Like for you, it probably is a big change from New York to Australia.
I mean, yeah, that's a weird way to compare it, but yeah.
Oh, it's what? It's a different culture. It's completely different from what I was used to. It's the same thing. It's the
No, you're
different
right.
coastline.
That actually is very
It's the
fair
same
because
thing.
a lot of conversation over here is how a big thing in the United States, it's very regionally different dialect culture. It's like going between countries when you go between states, and going from the north to the south is definitely a conversion, transition. I don't know what
Yeah.
word,
It's like
but
going to east or west or north to well, you said north to south, but even if you go even a little bit west to like Chicago, it's a lot different. The Midwest is a lot different from the north. Even if we go north to like up to Boston or something like that, it's
yeah,
different.
New
Like the
England area.
New England culture is a lot different. And then southern culture, even southern culture is different. If you're in the northern part of the South, which is like Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. Well, Virginia is different than DC kind of is different, but Virginia is kind of similar to North Carolina with the rest, even though they'll probably get mad at me. No,
Yeah,
they're all different that they would say, but they're pretty much the same. And then you
yeah.
go down to Florida, which is basically our southern territory, which the snowbirds of
Oh yeah.
Florida. And then you go
Our
to
our
Alabama, which
southern
is a whole nother
territory
whole.
being New York, or
No, our southern territory in Florida,
oh,
as the snowbirds, the New
okay.
Yorkers going down to Florida.
That's where a good
Yeah,
chunk of the
like
Howe
our
family is.
yeah, and no, not our grandparents. My grandparents on my dad on my mom's dad's side went down to Florida. So Lexington was basically created to be a middle point between the capital of South Carolina, being Columbia, and Augusta, Georgia, which was one of the bigger cities in Georgia.
Why?
And one of the main it's just the middle ground. It's literally just the middle ground.
Continue.
That's it. That was the whole point of the town was to just to be a middle ground. It just it was near a river and it's middle ground. That's it.
Wow. Well,
And right in the middle of that was Main Street. Is like one of the main roads. It's one of the first roads, and then it spread out because it was the trading town. It was the original strip of the of a trading town.
yeah, but I mean, like in the U.S., every
It
city
now
has
it's
like a
just
main street, or every town, whatever.
yeah. It honestly, when I first came to it, it reminded me of West Hampton. Like
Interesting.
you know that strip in West Hampton where that theater is. It's just a smaller version of that.
Yeah.
That when I first moved here and we drove through it. That's the first thing I thought of was West Hampton, which leads back to like a very Long Island ideology. It's just we think about everything, and one of the main places that's on Main Street, the pizza place that's on Main Street, is a Long Island pizza place. is the only
Interesting.
place where you can get really good Sicilian slices, which is and then
Is it
O'Hare.
really
There's
good?
a place called O'Hare's.
O'Hare's.
It's all right. O'Hare. One they opened a bakery, and one of the bakers was like a guy who grew up in Queens. So a lot of in the last 5 years, a lot of New Yorkers moved to South Carolina, and especially into Lexington.
Interesting.
I just started a new job at a deli, and it is one of the biggest delis. Biggest like community based delis. They get the most like traffic through is because of a lot of the New York population. They need delis because we're famous for delis, Jewish delis, and other delis like that.
So
Uh,
New Yorkers are coming to the Carolinas. You guys came to the Carolinas. You specifically went to Lexington.
yeah.
So have you met other Long Islanders or other New Yorkers in the area that you're
Oh,
located?
oh,
No.
so many.
Oh, so many.
I probably met I have probably met at least 30, 40, 50 Long Islanders. My mom's best friend here is from Long Island.
Huh.
I dated a girl from Long Island when I was here.
Yeah. To preface.
I had a good friend who was from Long Island. Uh, I had a girl in biology that I've never interacted with. She was from Long Island in college. I meet so many people that are from Long Island. On Main Street, there is a public park,
Okay.
which is a right. It's a very big park. It's probably the biggest park. It's the biggest park in Lexington. It's a very modern park. It's right next to a little river, and it doesn't have um, what's that thing in parks like the wood chips.
I guess you could just call it wood chips, like that type of playgrounds. It's
Yeah,
not
they don't
gravel.
have that
It's
anymore. They don't. No, it's not gravel. It's not wood chips. It's like foam. The ground is foam.
oh, so it's got to be one of
That's
the
a
newer
modern
type of
park. Is
yeah,
foam.
very modern park then.
Very new. It got
Yeah.
renovated in 2024,
Oh,
and
really new.
it's really new. But it's so weird. It has like the stuff when we were kids, but it's like no wood chips. No, there's only one swing. Everything is padded. It's weird.
It's because the kids don't
It's very weird.
kids can't get hurt or sick these days. You know,
Yeah. Back in my day, we used to get sick and hurt.
throw them to the ground, feed them dirt, let the immune system develop.
Rub dirt in that wound. Rub dirt in the wound.
Yeah, none of these nut allergies
But it's some of the nut allergies are real.
are. Most of them,
My
they
sister
all
went to
are.
school. I wasn't. I'm not allergic to peanuts.
That's good.
Um, but
Pick
I
up a
knew
lot of allergens.
my sister knew someone who was allergic to fruit.
To birds?
Fruit. Just
Fruit.
no. Just fruit. Just fruit.
Interesting.
All fruit. And the school actually banned outside food from coming into the school because of her.
So what? People had to pay for lunch? This is your school in South Carolina, right?
Yeah. No, this is the school in New York, but like
Ah,
it's I just thought it was interesting.
that's fair. That's
I knew
fair.
a couple of people who is a people are allergic to milk now.
How about those that schooling in the southern South Carolina? What you did high school there, right?
I did all 4 years of high school. Um
Yeah, it's school.
Pretty easy.
Yeah,
Pretty easy. It it was not hard at all. I
smart.
I I got pretty much all A's. I didn't study one bit. I didn't do anything.
See, I wonder how it would compare talking about Lexington, South Carolina, someone that was like born and raised there, versus coming from like the someone who's very patriotic towards Long Island, New York, coming down to South Carolina, and like I wonder what they would say. They're gonna listen to this and be like,
They would probably struggle. They would probably struggle. I knew someone who studied all the time and would struggle, and they would get mad at me because I would just do it instantly. I
I
would get an
mean,
A in the class, never study, never pay attention, never do the homework, and I would get an A in the class.
I'm talking about like your
Technically, South
perspective on
Carolina,
South Carolina in general. That's all I'm saying. I kind of concur though. It's different, you know. It's
yeah. Well, even the, I think South Carolina is like 47th in education.
oh wow,
It's really bad.
yeah, yeah. I didn't know
They
that.
have the worst education. They have the worst. They have the worst roads. They have the worst economics. I don't know what they have going for them.
How about some good things about Lexington, South Carolina?
Anyway, they actually have the second biggest 9/11 memorial
Interesting.
in the whole country.
Interesting.
Yeah, Lexington and Columbia have the biggest 9/11 memorial outside of New York.
Were there planes that came from the airports there, or were there? Did they
No,
have a lot of people in New York?
no, nope.
Interesting.
It just when it happened, there actually, my old therapist knew the guy who set that up, and he was from Brooklyn.
Okay.
So he called. They actually have beams from the towers, and I think in Columbia, which is the major city connected to us.
Yeah.
But there is on Main Street, there is a memorial to another memorial for 9/11 survivors and veterans of World War One, World War Two, Vietnam, and like other stuff like that. Lexington is very small, I would say. It doesn't have a not as big as Long Island with 3 million people. It only has 25,000 in the whole town,
Wow.
and uh, it's it's very small. It's very, I would say, rural. It's starting to become more suburban, but it used to be before we came and built a lot of it. It used to be very rural, um, a rural town, which is the importance of Main Street because that was the main shopping store where you can get your food, your clothing, your this, your this. It's pretty much like an outlets,
Hmm.
but it's just a little town. So it's like a
Does it sound
groceries or anything like that. But it has clothing stores. It has at least 3 clothing stores. A couple restaurants. It's more of like the touristy part of Lexington. Not a very big town.
bigger
Uh,
than some towns I've been to in the past? I will say that.
that is true. It is actually pretty. It is quite large for the very little town it is. It's probably a big little town.
Big little.
It doesn't. Like on Long Island, we have like local foods like pizza, bagels, like that stuff. Lexington doesn't have that. Doesn't have like its identical, identifiable food.
Yeah.
It does have it, like it does take on like the southern barbecue and stuff like that, but the town itself does not have any like specialty foods. They do have like restaurants and other places where they have brought a lot of culture to it. Like O'Hara's, like I said, is like an Irish pub, which a lot of Irish immigrants immigrated to South Carolina. Like the town was discovered by English and Swedish settlers, which Irish is very close to England, obviously.
Yeah. Well, the Carolinas, or I guess South Carolina, they weren't one of the original 13,
How
right?
about that? I think I think Carolina was.
Carolina, but maybe before they divided it.
And then they divided it. So
They were
yeah.
around during the Civil
Lexington
War, though,
didn't.
right? Because wasn't there a
Oh
Battle of
yeah.
Lexington?
Which is actually that was that
Virginia?
is the Revolutionary War, and that was in New England.
Kidding. Massachusetts.
Never mind, guys. Never mind. Anyway, um, but Lexington was founded in 1735 by Colonial Township, which
Okay.
is just a little town immigrated to the Lexington area, and it originally it was just a Native American trading post, which
Oh,
is another reason why it became a middle ground for between Augusta and Columbia, because there was already a little bit of settlers there,
yeah.
but eventually after the Civil War, it became a middle ground to build the Augusta Columbia Railroad Company,
No way.
which was the railroad company between Augusta and Columbia, which I think the railroad is probably still existing. I'm not
Probably.
sure
I
about
mean,
that.
there's definitely an Amtrak that goes through. I mean, probably not Lexington, but I would. It goes down through the East Coast because there's an Amtrak that goes to Florida. So maybe it connects
Yeah,
some.
but
You gotta have
uh
industrial railroads
that's
there,
like
especially if you're
it
near
is.
Columbia.
I think it is an industrial railroad. I think
Yeah,
that's what it is.
because like we had one of those in
Um,
Philly. Those are the
well,
big freight
Philly, you
trains. They bring like all the equipment. You know. Actually, I don't know much about it.
all the stuff.
All the stuff.
But yeah, Philly is like a powerhouse. Lexington isn't a much of a powerhouse. Augusta isn't that much of a powerhouse, and Columbia is not much of a powerhouse.
Ay ay ay.
Com- But like compared to Philly, it's not. It's not. Philly dominates over those two. Anyway,
Yeah.
there is actually a very there's a restaurant right outside of Main Street called the uh, Brew Pub. It's actually built on top of a cotton mill from the 1860s, like right before the Civil War ended, and
Interesting.
was making like cotton, like it was a cotton gin, and then they converted it. It's still standing, and they converted it to a brew pub where you can eat in like it's just a bar. It's just a bar, and they make their own beer because they have a really big facility.
Yeah, they got. Do they have decent brewery distilleries down there? I feel like they were so somewhat agricultural. Not that that necessarily applies to beer, but
I'm not sure of that. I don't know anyone that does that. I don't think so. I think it might just be restaurants that might have craft beer, but it's not. They don't have big distilleries. I have been to an abandoned factory that was like a steel mill, but that's nothing close to it, or for a venue.
he's not 21 yet.
Hey, you don't need to say that. No. Anyway, but Lexington did really get the more developed after the Civil War and during the Reconstruction period, and that's when a lot of people came to Lexington and really congregated because they were building the Augusta to Columbia Railroad, and they needed a middle ground to like build, because when they built railroads they would start building from one side and then they would build from the other and connect in the middle. So Lexington was that middle ground where they would do it. As I said earlier, for the demographic, it was settled by Swiss settlers and English and German settlers. Um, the town of Lexington was really shaped by the Lake Murray, which is a man-created lake. I don't remember if it was a river that they took it from or if they brought in a bunch of like water and they filled it up, but it was a man-created dam, and they flooded an entire town. So Lexington is built on hills. Lexington and the towns around it are built on hills, and they flooded the inside of the hills where they created Lake Murray
Wow,
and the dam that powers most of the town and the town around it.
Lake Murray. There's actually a man-made river I'll
And
talk about at some point as well. So that's pretty cool. Lake, sorry, Lake.
We
I
can.
made mine.
Lexington is very outdoorsy people.
This is you.
Um, I don't go outside. You can clearly see I don't go outside. I stay in this room anyway. But outdoor lifestyle, small town pride. Obviously, they're very prideful of their town.
Yeah.
Uh, very agricultural culture and rural culture, hunting culture. Uh, big trucks, guns, chewing tobacco. Uh, I met a lot of people who chew tobacco. Very. Thank God they made Zins
Yeah.
in the past couple of years because they used to spit it out in the parking lot.
We.
Uh, don't don't do that.
I didn't actually spit.
Oh, I thought you did Haktua.
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. Anyway, local entertainment. They have the Ice House Amphitheater, which is just an outdoor amphitheater. I went there. I went there with my aunts for a Led Zeppelin show, and it was really nice because they didn't have chairs or anything, and you didn't have to bring chairs. The stadium was built on like grass pillars, and each spot was a piece of concrete or a piece of like granite or something, and you sat on the granite around with grass. It was really cool, and I thought that was really creative for not like bringing chairs and like everyone stumbling in and everything like that. You could just sit on the granite. It was a good show. It
That's
was
more
a
of.
Led Zeppelin trip.
Oh, yeah. That's
What?
fair. I say that's more of like the classical kind of more European vibes amphitheaters.
Yeah, and I think they do Shakespeare like once a month or something. Nightlife. There is no nightlife. There is no nightlife. You go to Columbia for nightlife. It's a small town. There's nothing to it.
Do they have any sports teams they support over there?
Thompson. Thompson. Lexington is very on college football,
Football.
which I found surprising. I never did college football. I was NFL. In the north it's NFL, down south it is college football, which I still don't get because of like why would you look at the amateurs when you can look at the pros?
Ah,
But
college
they don't
sports.
follow.
They're up and coming,
I don't I don't know.
but that's
It's
fair.
not.
I think it's
It's
because they
it.
don't have like a South Carolina's professional team, So for them, their
Yeah.
universities are like
Technically,
there.
technically, the Carolina Panthers is their team technically, but
That's
it's more
true.
North Carolina. It's because I think it's in Charlotte. It
Oh,
might be in Charleston. I don't. Charleston is in South Carolina, but I don't know. Or the Braves.
Atlanta.
I think Atlanta, the
That
Atlanta
makes
Braves.
sense. How far is Atlanta from you?
It's like 4 hours. You got any questions? That's pretty much it. Lexington is not that big. There's not much to talk about.
I mean, what's been you've been there for 6 years now, I guess.
Don't tell me that. I don't want to know. Yeah, I've been here for 6 years.
So let's see. I mean, you talked a lot about just like the history of the people. What about some of the highlights of Lexington? Anything cool that's happened there or nah?
Nope. Nope. Nothing happened. Um there was a couple things that happened the town over, but like I'll talk about that in the next episode.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened in Lexington.
The lake is really cool. You could probably mention. I mean, when I was there, when I visited you guys, we did the lake tour. That was really cool. That's actually a really interesting element that you guys have, the birds.
Yeah. But Lake Murray, that part was in Irmo, which is the town over, which I'll talk about in my next episode. But I can't talk about it because Lake Murray is technically part of Irmo. Most of it's part of Irmo and not part of Lexington. So I'm keeping that for the next episode.
What's the
Nothing
go-to
really
grocery
happened.
store there, eh?
I have to say Publix now because I work for Publix, but I would say Lowe's.
Lowe's. I respect
Lowe's,
Publix.
Lowe's, Lowe's Foods. So in the South, Lowe's Hardware became made a version of grocery stores called Lowe's Foods, and it's basically a sister. Not a, I don't. I have no idea. It's part of Lowe's Hardware family, and they got like a couple hundred stores in the South.
Wow.
Not even 100 stores. I have no idea. But Publix is probably the bigger one. You got Food Lion. Um, mostly chains. Not a lot of mom and pop places
So
here.
no like traditional chains. I mean, you gotta have like McDonald's. I feel like everywhere's got a McDonald's.
Well, yeah, you got McDonald's. You got typical chains like McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, Wendy's, that stuff. You don't have mom and pop places. Like you don't
Yeah.
have like, oh, your aunt's Mexican restaurant. You don't have that. You have chain places. Not a lot of home like restaurants. And the very few restaurants are on Main Street or in right across Main Street in the flight deck shopping center, which is just another shopping center that's pretty big, has restaurants and other businesses connected to it, but not a lot of mom and pop places. So, mostly just chains.
What would be the staple
It is
there in terms of like cuisine, I guess, or even just entertainment?
There is none. There is none.
They don't
That
have.
was I said that. So it would just be
I feel like
Carolina barbecue.
Carolina barbecue.
That's it. That's it. But there is no staple for Lexington.
That's fair.
It's very small town.
I mean, like when we talk
There,
about pizza and bagels on Long Island, though, we're talking about Long Island as a whole. Like, there's got to be something about Lexington that's just like, hey, this is. Oh, I guess you kind of talked about that already as well. But I don't know.
yeah, there. It's a very small town. The people here that were born here have a lot of pride for the town, but someone that moved into it from somewhere bigger,
Yeah,
I would say it's not something to like get hyped about.
you don't have a lot of people that are born and raised there stick around for a very long time. It tends to be, I guess, a lot of people moving down.
Yeah, now it is. It's a lot of people that move down, but there are generational families here.
Yeah,
But a lot of people who aren't part of that generational uh, families, they move away.
they hunt down there
They
or
either
not?
move up. They either what?
They hunt down there.
Yeah, they do. Very big hunting season. But there's regulations on when they can start hunting.
Hmm.
There used to be people in my class when hunting season started. Half of the class would be gone because they would skip school and they would go hunt deer, fishing. I have no idea. Could be anything. I never hunted,
Sweet,
but
awesome.
or fished. But um, I would say a lot of people now they're getting upset that we're moving in and they're moving down to Alabama,
Hmm. Interesting.
which is a big thing. Um, or they're going the younger people are going up north, and the older people who want to leave because of us, they're moving down to Alabama. And then the
Okay.
people that move there from here, and then the people from Alabama, they're gonna go into the ocean. I have no idea where are they gonna go. Texas? Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like a big thing, especially when you talk about people from northern states moving down south, it's affordability. It's especially for maybe people up north where, you talk about minimum wage being much greater and there's just a bit more
Yeah,
industry overall. Like you go down south, it's just
I there is no industry here. They're trying to. There is a Michelin plant, and the BMW and Mercedes. A lot of car manufacturers are here. A lot of laboratories are here. It's just that there aren't people to. Well, there are people to take those jobs, but it's very hard to find jobs here. There's not enough employment to go around, and the people who are hiring can't have a livable wage. Um, it is 7.25 is minimum wage,
Jeez.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
New York is like
16.50.
two two 225 times pretty
Yeah,
much,
that's
which
crazy.
is crazy. And food, I would say food is more expensive than New York. Like going to the grocery store, I think food up north is cheaper because I think it's the ports, like the DC ports, the New York ports, the Florida ports, the Savannah. It takes a lot of time to get here, and food is expensive. Except meats. Meats is
I think
cheaper.
that they
Gas
hunt
is
their
cheaper.
gas is cheaper. That's good.
I think it
Yeah.
leveled out. I think it's starting to level out over here. Yeah, gas here is like 2.49 or something, which is
How's
pretty
the
cheap.
winter over there? I feel like U.S. is getting hit
It's
hard.
hot. Well, actually, yeah, this year has been really cold. We had snow for like 2 days. Everything shut down.
Yeah, because they're not
Shut down for a
designed to
week.
handle that. Even the
Yeah, they're not
winters.
designed. My dad actually, we had a bad Christmas Eve where it got down to -2, and it was like sub-zero, and
Jeez.
the water heater broke
The water
because
heater
it couldn't
broke?
handle the cold. Yeah,
Wow.
and the heating system. So my dad actually jury rigged the system to fix it. It they are not prepared for the cold, and they're not
Yeah.
prepared for snow. They shut down for a couple of weeks to handle the snow.
I mean, I don't necessarily blame them because it's true. Like, they're not. If you don't get snow that often, and they don't get snow that often down there, they don't necessarily have the equipment and the ability to account for that. Their roads aren't designed with that. I guess it's like a faster melting. I forget what it is. I don't know how exactly they do it up in like New England, but I know there's supposed to be some type of heating element that helps a bit with the pavement. I could be making that up,
I've
but
never heard of that. I've never heard of that.
I kind of want
I
to look
just know
into
that
it more.
the salt helps
Well, the salt
with
melted
it.
after.
Yeah, they don't have that. They don't have snow plows. They don't have nothing.
Yeah. Now, why
They don't know how
waste
to
money
deal
on
with.
snowplows if you don't really need them?
Yeah, they. When it snowed last, I saw pickup trucks with shovel mounts on the front of it. Yeah, they're not prepared. They're not prepared for snow at all. They're not prepared for cold weather. They're prepared for hot weather.
I'll say it
But
must get hot in the
what do you
summer
have to
there.
yeah, I'm not good with the heat.
Yeah.
I had a heat stroke when I first moved. I could not handle the heat. I moved summer of 2020. So after lockdown was over.
Hmm.
Because lockdown, when did we have lockdown? March 17th, March 20th, something like
Yeah,
that.
March. I'm pretty
They
sure
didn't
it was
have their
March 17th.
lockdown. They didn't have their lockdown until like April 14th.
And how well did
They
they
didn't have
follow
their
the
lockdown
lockdown over
until
there?
I probably till the end of ours, or even before
Well,
then. Probably till
not well is
May
the answer.
or June.
Uh,
Well, lockdown was over by June or July. That's all I have for Lexington. Lexington is a very small town. It's a very prideful town, and I live in it.
sweet.
Mm. Anyway,
All right.
you have any final comments?
No, I enjoyed hearing a little bit about the town that you're in now, Lexington, which is
Yeah,
not the Lexington in Massachusetts.
yeah. Or Lexington, Kentucky, or Lexington, Illinois, or Lexington. There's a Lexington in every single state. There
Wow.
has to be.
Yeah.
Lexington is one of the most common names, like Springfield.
Oh, Well,
Yeah.
all right.
Fun fact. Fun fact.
Here's to Lexington, South
Anyway,
Carolina. I guess
yeah. And then your episode is next about what's your topic?
I'll be talking about Melbourne. So that's where I'm at now.
Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah. So we'll be leaving the U.S., taking a solid long flight across the waters, the Pacific, and yeah, we'll catch you there for another episode of Backstory.
Yeah.
Bye.